How should you address your audience in your marketing? This and more in this week's Q&A. Coming up. Hello and welcome back to the Freelanceverse. Thanks for coming back to the channel. It's time for another Q&A. As you know, every second one is a live stream and every other one is a recorded one. This one is pre-recorded. I took questions. Since last time was a live stream, there are not many questions under that video, so I took also from previous videos and also just from all general videos, all the questions I get. If you want to be included in the next one, make sure to ask your question under this video because that's where for sure I will include it if you write it here. As always, I'm going to overlay the questions on screen and then answer them directly. Let's get right into it. The first question comes from Analia Quinteros, and this question was on a MemoQ video. She asks, I would like to know if it includes automatic translation. It really helps you for not spending so much time typing everything. Good question, and yes, almost all CAT tools nowadays, I think all of them have a machine translation implementation. If you want to use it, you can pre-translate the text and then post-edit it after, so MemoQ definitely offers that as well. That can save a lot of time. Just make sure you are transparent with your client and you only use it in use cases where it makes sense. If it's a highly creative text, I would advise not to, because you will be limited in your ability to edit the text, right? First of all, you don't have enough time. And secondly, once you already see a preconceived notion, a pre-translation, you are more likely you're biased towards that, right? So you don't come up with your own thing. So it will be less good, it will be less creative, but it's definitely an option. Next question that was posed in the live stream last time when I talked about subtitling, from Joseph Tomanna. Hi, the video is very interesting and informative. Can you recommend a subtitling software? I actually made a whole video tier list about subtitling softwares. I'm gonna link it up here. You will see that my favorite is Subtitle Edit. I use it all the time, every day basically. I just used it literally half an hour ago. It's free to use, and I think it's a Danish product and it's amazing. It has all the functionality you need. I'm so grateful for the developer of this tool. It's a godsend, definitely. So I can recommend Subtitle Edit. Then there are many other ones that most commonly used are Amara, Caption Hub, Una, etc. There are many. Check out the video and you will see a breakdown of all their functionality, pros and cons, price, etc. Next question comes from Channel Man. Thank you for really practical ideas, especially with the subtitling ones. I want to learn German, maybe even live here someday. Is there any book source you would recommend for complete novice? Nice question, thank you for that. I really like what Deutsche Welle and Die Zeit are doing with for their language learners. My wife, for example, she's continuously learning German and she's subscribed to a magazine called Deutsch Perfekt from Die Zeit, and it's a full magazine with news articles, really good journalism, specifically for language learners. So every article is written in either simple, medium, or hard language level, and the vocabulary is explained right next to the paragraph. Amazing work they're doing. I actually reached out to them recently for a collaboration to the Zeit language services. Let's see if something will happen. Same goes with Deutsche Welle. It's a great resource to watch news for with different language levels. So if you want to just hear a bit the language and get the feel for it, I would say go for these two tools or resources. It's a great way to learn the language and get used to German. Next question is a longer one from Evi Undani. Hey Adrian, I've been freelancing for 1 year now as a translator with the working languages Spanish, Catalan, Galician and English. Wow. Right now I'm building my personal brand with my website and on social media. However, I'm very insecure about how to choose my main language for social media as my target customers speak very different languages. Obviously with English, I would potentially have the biggest audience, but I would prefer to find more clients with my other source languages. If I communicate in my mother tongue German, I would limit myself a lot and basically only connect with other fellow translators instead of leads. What would you recommend in this case? Thanks a lot. So your mother tongue is German, but it's not part of your working languages? interesting. Can you explain that? If you watch this, Avi, if you can explain that in the comments, or did you just not mention it because it's just goes without saying that you're using German? Interesting. Good point. So for me, it's very clear that I use all my social media in English. Simply, as you said, you have a much broader audience, right? This is basically, in the end, that's all it comes down to. You have to decide for yourself, do I want to reach a broader audience or do I want to reach potential clients in my source? I would not recommend to mix and match because that can get a bit confusing for people. But what you can do is if you decide to go for English, you can still write about Galician, about Catalan in English and explain certain concepts, and create nice content for people that are interested in that language. I think that could work. Other than that, I would decide to go for one. You don't have to go for the same in every social media platform, right? You can decide to have your LinkedIn in English because it's probably mostly, business, the business world is probably mostly in English. And then maybe you have a more focused Catalan Instagram. I don't know what you're using still, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. You can play around with different languages on different platforms. My recommendation would be to go for English because you have the most potential and it's just the most spoken language in the world. I don't know if that's true actually, but at least for me to, the clients that I want to attract, they most likely understand English when they come across my videos. And nowadays, almost every platform offers translation it automatically under a post, right? So even in the worst case they don't understand, they can still choose to translate it, even though I'm not a big fan of that. But it's there. It's the done deal. Even on YouTube nowadays, like I actively disabled in the backend that my videos don't get automatically dubbed into another language. But it happens so often now that I want to watch something and I open it and it's just a weird voiceover in German just because my YouTube has German settings. I absolutely hate it. I think some creators like to use it because they want to reach a broader audience, but for me, it kills the vibe immediately. I definitely don't want my videos to be automatically dubbed. But that's beside the point. Let's move on. OSPKO asks again a question about subtitling. Are you usually provided the script or some kind of document with the dialogue written out, or are you usually expected to transcribe the source dialogue first? That depends a lot. Like if I work on a TV show or on a movie, then of course you have the script. Like you have the original, you translate. That's like a normal translation, but working on subtitles. But then very often it happens that it's like an internal company video or an advertisement or whatever, and then there's no script. So I actually watch the video and I transcribe it at the same time and then translate it. Sometimes it's not even needed to translate it if they just need a German transcript and then they send it to a French or English translator, etc. So that depends a lot. Let's say overall, it's more likely that I get the script, especially for bigger projects, for films, for documentaries, for TV shows. I will always have a script. And I have one more question from KH Ling. Is there a way to download or check out the project if I am only using the web version? That's again about the memo key video. And yes, you can definitely work in the web-based version, also for online projects. That shouldn't cause any problems. I personally don't work in the web browser, but I think it's nowadays also a fully fledged system, so it works very well. So that shouldn't cause any problem, definitely. And the last question from Silis A Style. Just curious, what is the reason why you don't do interpreting as well? Good question. Simple answer, I'm just not good at it, right? I tried it at university. It was horrible for me. It's so stressful. I'm amazed by the people who do it. I think I had a similar question recently anyways, but I think it's good to mention because still many people confuse the two jobs, interpreter and translator, and many people do the same, both at the same time, right? But I was just recently again at the Multilingualism Day at the European Parliament here in Brussels, and I've heard talks of the interpreters. I've seen them work live, and it is just so intense. They all speak like 7-8 languages fluently, and it's another level. It's not for me. You need a lot of dedication, a lot of stress resistance, and a very, very highly skilled multitasking ability. And that is not something I can do, want to invest time into. So, but definitely a very cool career path. I could see that if my brain worked a bit differently, I would probably go for it. But You play with the cards, you are dead. There you go. Thanks for watching. Make sure to scroll down, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot, so I can keep these videos going until the end of the year. We still have a lot of stuff happening coming your way. In November, I will do a lot of expert interviews. Stay tuned for that. I see you next Monday with the next one. Bye bye.